This one is for you if you ever, I mean, come on, don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to me. When you find yourself comparing yourself or your life, your career, your family, your home, your anything to anyone other than your own life, career, family, home situation. Comparisonitis is the cutesy name for it out there when it feels like poop because you're comparing yourself to other people who are not you. They're not you. They don't have your life circumstances. They don't have your life experiences, perspectives, your values. But yet it's easy to, as they say, compare someone else's highlight reel to your real life. Because even when we're trying to be as transparent as possible on social media, for example, there's only so much transparency. It still is filtered, even with no filter. We can't help but filter because words themselves are limiting. Even if we're trying to be as transparent as possible, trying to be as open as possible, people are still, they're going to filter it through their own lens. No filter is actually not even a thing. Even if we try, you could say this and somebody could still misinterpret it or take it their own way. And that doesn't have to stop us from sharing things, but still, I'm just saying. The point is, with comparison, for example, a lot of my friends and colleagues have written at least a book. Many have written several books by now. And you know, if you've been hanging out with me for any period of time, that this little engine that could, the Naptime Empires book, my first book, is something I've been working on and off for years now. We're on again right now, by the way. And it's something that if I am not like tuned in and staying in my own inspiration, intuition, life fulfillment lane, and I start peeking around at other people's papers, it can take me out a bit to be like, I am behind. I don't need to say it because they already said it. That, I'm talking about that in my book too. Why should I say it? Why bother? Ho hum, Eeyore. And, we can acknowledge the feelings. That's fine. It's feedback though, because when the feelings feel bad, I like to believe that it means they're not true. There's something else to look at. But my perspective shift for you is the impact is actually coming from inside the house. So when you find yourself comparing yourself to people out there and thinking that the faceless human family, let's say, already has heard it from so-and-so, your friend, colleague, mentor, whoever it is, and they don't need to hear it from you, that's actually not true. And you're casting too wide of a net, because what really matters when you really dial it back and think about it is that when we say, I say we say because, again, me and lots of other people, friends and colleagues, say the same thing of like, we need to hear it from you, but really literally think about it. Your kids, your partner, your friends, your parents, your neighbor, your hairstylist, your grandma, if she's still around in the physical world, they don't care about my book, my podcast, my email. They want yours. They want that acknowledgement section where their names are listed in the back of the book. They want to brag about you and your creations in this life. So when you start to feel like there's so much noise out there and why add my voice to it or whatever, it's like, no, seriously, think about it. There are people in your real life who are directly impacted by the things you do, say, and create. In many ways, not just energetically and inspiration cooties, but financially in many real and tangible ways, right? But also I'm thinking about my kids. Like, they think it's cool that my friends write books and publish books and things, but they're not going to be mentioned in my friends' books. They're going to think it's so cool when they see that they're mentioned as muses in my books and little bits of our life story are shared to help hopefully support other families in their naptime empires, lives, and journeys. No amount of other people publishing can fill that spot of their mom writing a book or creating a podcast. Or right now they think it's cool. I have a YouTube channel that has 2,000 subscribers from 10 years ago that I don't really update, but it's like, still, that ultimately at the end of the day is really the core of who matters most to me. I love, absolutely, and it is a privilege and a blessing and very fulfilling and inspiring and energizing to be able to connect with so many other people beyond just the people in my household, for sure. It's like a necessary part of my mental health and identity. But whenever I'm finding myself stuck out in comparison, I'm like, none of that's going to help my kids. Like, none of that is going to actually, for example, it's like saying, well, nope, because Susie already went to the grocery store. It's like, okay, well, that's great for Susie and her family, but Nikki, your kids need you to go to the grocery store. Like, literally, to put food on the table, you need to get that curbside delivery ordered up. Like, it doesn't matter that so and so did it. It matters to my kids if I did it. It matters to me if I did it. If we're not putting food on the table and in the fridge and in the pantry, then we're not eating. But we're sitting here looking at everyone else grocery shopping and being like, oh, they went grocery shopping today. Or they've already bought the apples, Like, so my family doesn't need apples because it's like, that's not how that works. But in creative works and professional comparisons, it can be easy to fall into that trap. It's like if one of my sons was like, well, he already brushed his teeth. Okay, dude, but you still need to brush your teeth tonight. Like, just because your brother brushed his teeth already doesn't actually affect your mouth, your dental hygiene. So grab the flosser. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I'm also thinking about how one of my very best friends has a birthday party this weekend, and it is an extravaganza, and people are flying in from all corners of the world to celebrate. And it's so beautiful because she has a unique network that, like, as the hub and then all the spokes, like, for this particular event. It's so beautiful to see all these people that I know from various other areas, but everyone's coming together because she's bringing us together, gathering us around the table, literally and figuratively. And she's reaching in her network the people that only she can reach. And this may be a separate message, but we all have our own unique networks. Even your identical twin sibling, if you had one, doesn't have the exact same network. Your partner doesn't have the exact same network. Your best friend, your business partner. We all have a unique spot to fill. We all have a unique social network that only we can reach in the way that we can reach them. And so, again, pick your metaphor. I know I've stuffed the bag full here of lots of them. Brushing your teeth, writing your book, picking up your groceries, whatever it is, there is something that only you can do. And the impact that you're going to make from the inside out, of course, most importantly, for your own self, because it's an identity piece, to actually complete this thing, to express this thing, to try this thing. Like, let's take pressure off. But there's like this itch. It's like an intuitive itch that needs to be scratched, and only you can scratch it. It doesn't matter if I've scratched my itch. It matters because it's your itch. You got to scratch it. You're going to benefit from it. The people in your household will benefit from it, and beyond your household, but inside out. So the whole point is, and I hope this is making sense to you, please let me know by clicking the link for the comment box, that if you find yourself looking outward and feeling less than or behind in any way, please remind yourself that you are a whole ass person, excuse my French, and you have real life people who love you and are cheering you on. Again, visualize the acknowledgements pages of a book. Imagine those real life people and how their lives are actually going to be impacted. Not just the faceless future impacting, strangers that are important and valuable humans and everything. But think about the humans you actually know. You know their faces better than you know your own in some cases. And think about how they will be impacted from you taking this inspired action, doing the thing. It matters. There is a spot that only you can fill. Time to fill it. Like I said, let me know if this resonates with you. It makes a lot of sense in my head. it helps me at least, because I'm like, they don't care. They don't care if so and so has this business. It doesn't affect them. And maybe, it can be inspiring, but it's not going to be the same as if it's their mama writing the book, buying the groceries, tidying up the living room at night when everybody else is asleep. You know what I mean. All right. Hope this supports and serves you in some way. I'll meet you back here soon. Okay, technically that was the end of the episode, but since you're still here, 1, I'd love to thank you for spending part of your day with me, and 2, I'd love to ask you if you would take 30 seconds, maybe 60, to leave a rating and review in your podcast app before you tap out today. If you've already done that, it's amazing. Please send me a screenshot so I can thank you personally, and know that sharing this episode with a friend has the same magical powers, and I deeply appreciate both. Also, in case you're listening to the end to see if I ever actually introduce myself, hi! My name is Nikki Elledge Brown. I'm the host and author of Naptime Empires and this here On Her Terms podcast. You can find me around the internet at Nikki Elledge Brown in most places, but what you may appreciate most is actually over at onherterms.com. It's what I call the insider library. It's where you can get inside scoop, first listen rights, email updates every time there's a new episode, and then special insider only bonus content. It's all over in our private feed. Okay, that's a wrap for real. I'll meet you in the next episode.